He has no shoes on and his clothes are in tatters.
How old are you?
Age. But he is not sure.
Which kind of sickness?
It's complicated to explain.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
Is there any hospital which can treat him?
Oh no,
No?
it's not possible. He said that MSF was here. They took a part of his.
Her father died.
Died because of...
He was bewitched.
He was...
Bewitched. This is like African thing.
The Democratic Republic of Congo, located in the center of the African continent. It is the second largest country in Africa, with an area about 4 times the size of France. Blessed with vast nature and abundant natural resources, Congo has suffered from poverty and conflict. Since 1998, the conflict in eastern Congo has claimed more than 6 million victims. Various armed groups emerged during the conflict and continue to operate to this day. It is estimated that there are more than 100 armed groups in eastern Congo. My Japanese channel has often covered Congo's history and conflicts. Some of these videos have been viewed hundreds of thousands of times. However, I had never set foot in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The most major reason for this is the lack of safety. The eastern part of the DRC is one of the areas where security is at the worst level in the world. In September 2023, I was finally able to travel to eastern Congo and finally set foot in the region. In this video, I accompany Terra Renaissance, a Japanese aid organization, and report on the actual situation in the eastern Congo.
現地の人たちがたくさん集まってアサンテサーナ武装勢力による破壊事件などがヤギのちょん切られた頭が悪なまただメキシコ国
This video was originally produced in Japanese. An English voiceover was added later.
How are you, Kanta?
Good morning, Ms. Rogawa. I am good today.
Did you sleep well last night?
Yes, I was very tired and slept well. I spent an hour or so at night organizing the footage I shot in the field yesterday. After that, I went to bed at 10 p.m. and fell asleep as if I had fainted.
But it's a nice morning in Kalonge, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I am getting quite tired, so I will take care not to break down. So now, let's go. We are now on our way to the elementary school in this village, and we are driving through a very steep road. It is even bumpier than the road we drove on yesterday, and the car is shaking badly. This road is really terrible. Cars are leaning at an angle. It is very difficult to shoot video on this road. Is this an elementary school supported by Terra Renaissance?
Yes, this is the Chaminunu Elementary School we are supporting. The school building was in shambles, so we supported the school to restore it. There are 577 children in this school. The school building was in shambles, so Terra Renaissance repaired the entire building and made it possible for the children to study. Today, we came to monitor the school.
There are so many children, I was surprised.
Yes, there are so many. The school buildings are falling apart. Desks and chairs are broken beyond use, and in some places there are no blackboards in the classrooms. There is very little money from the government to repair the schools. There is almost no budget for education. So the local church members and others who have a little extra money are putting a little bit of money together to repair and maintain the schools. Then, The teachers who teach the children to study are not paid. So, the parents of the children are putting a little money together for the teachers. The local people managed to run the school by collecting money under the name of school fees. But the local people living in this area are very poor due to the prolonged conflict. There are many other children who cannot go to school because of lack of money. We are making efforts, but there are still many issues that need to be resolved.
The school building here is broken to pieces. As you can see, most of the bricks in this wall have also crumbled. Inside the school building, the blackboard remains, and there are signs that classes were once held. However, the wood and other structures inside are severely corroded and no classes are currently being held. Due to the conflict, the school has not been able to keep up with repairs. Other school buildings have managed to recover to the point where classes can resume with the help of Terra Renaissance. However, the government has not allocated much money to the education budget, which has delayed the repair of many schools. Education is of utmost importance for the future of this region, but the situation is quite severe. The school building over here is also looking quite battered. The wood used for the walls is corroding and the roof is badly rusted. The color of the roof has changed. But it looks like the kids are studying inside the school building. In the school building shown in the video, only the roof has been repaired with support from Terra Renaissance. But nothing has been done to the side walls yet, which are made of wooden planks. It is almost the same situation as if the students were studying outside. Let's take a look at the class. One long desk is shared by about 5 to 6 children. It looks very small. It seems that there are not enough textbooks, and several children share one textbook. Not only are there not enough classrooms, but there are also not enough school supplies. This chart shows the number of children attending this elementary school. There are 132 children in the first grade, but the number gradually decreases as the children get older, and by the time they reach the 6th grade, the number has dropped to about 70. The reason for this is that many families run out of money to continue buying teaching materials and stationery to attend school. Also, as the children get older, some of them start working, so the number of students decreases with each grade level. I would like to talk to her who attends this elementary school for a moment.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you for talking.
Asante sana kuongea na yeye.
What is your grade?
6. Grade 6.
6th grade. How is your life?
Maisha yako hapa kumisomo iko aje?
Mimi niko hapa sikuwa na baba na mama naisha gonjwa.
She says she's here. She has no father. Her mother is very sickly. She doesn't have something to put on like clothes. And this uniform was sent by her brother from Bukavu.
Why don't you have your father?
Kwa nini umekosa baba?
Babangu alikufaka.
Her father died.
Died because of...
Alikufa kuna ugonjwa na malaria ama
balimlogaka.
He was bewitched.
He was
bewitched. This is like African thing. Someone doesn't like you, they bewitch you and you die. It's their belief.
What is happening to your mother? You said sickness, but is it malaria or something like that?
Mama wako anaumwa na ugonjwa gani?
Stomach
problem.
What is your biggest challenge in your life here?
Mimi niko na magumu ya banisomeshe tu na banizie makae na shakosi.
My only problem is to continue with my education and also scholarship materials like books, school bag.
How is your life other than school, your daily life?
Maisha yako ya tuseme umetoka shule.
Shia hatuna kitu. Ila siku kulala njala.
Her life is struggling. They are always struggling at home because they have no money to buy food. So they keep on asking neighbors. For example, today they can ask you, give me some cassava, and when you give, they eat that one. The time they don't have anyone to give them, then they don't eat, they sleep hungry. That is the life.
Do you have your dream?
Hata sizipenda na mimi nikufundisha ndio watoto wasomee hapa au mkubwa wangu.
Her dream is to become a teacher. She wants to complete here, become a teacher and become a teacher of this school so that she can also teach her friends from here.
Merci beaucoup, asante sana. Asante sana.
I asked her about her age. She's 14 years old.
14 years.
Then I asked her if she has siblings.
How many siblings?
2. One boy and one girl. Uko na message unataka kutuma kwa Wajapani?
Kwa tumia message? Kante kosa, njo nitewa tumia message.
She's asking for help, if they can educate her more and then find something they can do so that they can be able to get something to eat. Want to thank them as well, but please continue educating us. That is the message.
Okay. Asante sana.
Many of the children attending this elementary school are orphans who have lost their parents as a result of the prolonged conflict in eastern Congo. It seems that many of the children have lost their parents, not only to direct combat, but also to malaria and other diseases. I heard that some of the children had been held by the armed forces until recently and were fighting as child soldiers on the battlefield. They seem to have managed to escape from the armed forces and then started attending this school. I am keenly aware that the conflict is having a great impact on the lives of children. A lot of kids were gathered around me. It's a huge number of kids.
Ça va?
Oui, ça va.
Jambo?
Jambo sana.
Merci beaucoup.
The Japanese person who supported this elementary school is named Sako-san. So everyone is chanting "Thank you, Sako-san" in chorus in Japanese.
Kanta. 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 Kanta.
Behind me now, a local staff member from Terra Renaissance is giving a lecture to all the elementary school students using the local language on how malaria is transmitted and how it can be prevented. Do the children attending this elementary school not know how to use mosquito nets or how malaria is transmitted?
In the past, we have done educational activities on malaria prevention at this elementary school, but we need to do additional educational activities to spread that knowledge a bit more. The area of Shabunda, which is next to this area, is now in a state of insecurity due to the increased activity of armed groups. Many displaced people are pouring into the area of Chaminunu, where we are currently staying. With that influx of displaced people, the number of children living in this area has also increased. Those children are now attending this elementary school. Therefore, we have not yet done any educational activities for malaria prevention for the children who have been displaced from Shabunda. So we need to do malaria awareness activities for these children.
Are there lots of children who have just recently been evacuated?
I think there probably are. Originally, when we started to support this elementary school, there were 577 students. However, there were not enough classrooms, and some classrooms were broken, so we added 3 new classrooms with our support. So now the number of students has increased by 20. And there are about 590 to 600 children in this elementary school. Nevertheless, we still do not have enough classrooms. There is an influx of internally displaced people from the neighboring town of Shabunda, where security is deteriorating, into this area, so we have to educate the children of those households as well. As you can see, the school building that is currently being used is in shambles and broken. The roof is badly rusted and leaking. The number of children is increasing, so repairs to broken and unusable school buildings need to be done quickly.
Malaria prevention awareness activities are originally supposed to be done with a smaller group of students. However, since there is not enough time this time, all the students attending this elementary school are gathered on the ground, and a local staff member of Terra Renaissance gives a lecture on malaria prevention. Are there any malaria awareness activities going on in the classroom?
There were schools in the past that did malaria awareness activities in the classroom, but I don't think most schools do it anymore. At least, there should be very few schools that are demonstrating mosquito nets like this. In areas where they are doing educational activities about malaria prevention, there are fewer cases of malaria and mosquito nets are used, but it varies a lot from area to area. We asked children, do you know about malaria? Do you know that hanging mosquito nets is a preventive measure? In schools and communities where we have raised awareness in the past, many children already know these questions. But there are also areas where most of the children have no such knowledge, or do not even know what a mosquito net is. There is also a big difference in knowledge about malaria in different regions. Malaria is a terrible disease, but it can be prevented by using mosquito nets and other preventive measures. Of course, there are big challenges in these villages in the area of treatment after malaria has been contracted, but it is important to be able to prevent the disease before treating it.
How old are you?
11 years old.
11 years old. How is your life?
Maisha yako hapa kumasomo iko aje? Her life is 50-50. Sometimes she goes back home and she finds food. That is a good day. Sometimes she goes back home and she finds no food. That is a bad day. So some days are good, some days are bad.
What about your parents? Are they fine?
Wazazi wako wote wako?
Hapana, mama kwetu lakini baba ameenda kule chini.
She lives with her mother. Her father left them, went somewhere else, and he doesn't stay with them. Her mother has some sickness. Her mother suffers from stomach pain.
She escaped from somewhere, but what made her escape from her village?
Mzaliwa Shabunda juu ya vita.
She left her village because of the conflict. She left her native place when she was 5 years.
Do you have your dream?
She says she wants to become a teacher, also teach other children, and she wishes to stay with them in peace. Her message is, thank you very much for building for us this classroom. This is really helping us a lot, and please, we wish don't stop from there. Continue also supporting more schools because it's needed here.
Can I ask some more question? Does she know the current situation in Shabunda, her native village?
Wangali wanapigana.
Hakuna amani.
Hakuna amani.
What I heard is that they are still fighting. There is no peace.
Fighting between who and who?
Ni magrupu gani wako wanapigana? Umejua magrupe? Hutus are fighting with the Lai Mtomboki.
How was her life there before coming here?
In Shabunda, life was okay because we had our own land for farming. Here, no, they don't have.
I just want to know her opinion, how to end this conflict. What do we need to do to make peace in Shabunda?
Sasa nauliza, hii ni ya mwisho, nauliza weye aje. Wewe sema, ni mtoto Shabunda. Mawazo yako. I really have no answer. As she said, she has no answer.
From her perspective, what does she think the cause of the conflict?
Nini watu wako wanapigana? What she thinks is that the reason why they are fighting because the Hutus they want to stay in that area, but also Lai Mtomboki is telling them, please go back to your country. This is not your country. So they are fighting, I think, for occupation of the space. That's what she thinks.
We finished our coverage at the elementary school and are now on our way to our next destination. I came to a dressmaker store located about 5 minutes travel from the elementary school. There are many children in this area, and I would like to talk to them to see if they are attending school and what kind of life they are living.
Do you go to school?
No.
No.
He don't study.
Why don't you go to school? What makes him prevent from going to school? The money.
You have not money.
Okay, no money. How old are you?
But he is not sure.
He does not know how old he is. He has no shoes on and his clothes are in tatters. His clothes are torn in several places. Then there is quite a smell, probably because the clothes are very dirty.
He is working in his family.
Oh,
They are own land.
Instead of going to school, he works in his house. What kind of things?
Cassava farmers.
Okay, so he has to work for farming, so he can't go to school.
Yeah.
Asante sana. Asante.
It seems like a lot of kids in this area are not able to attend elementary school. What percentage of kids are not able to go to school?
Enrollment in primary education is reasonably high in the region. Probably it is more than 50%. But even if they do enroll once in school, there are very difficult challenges in being able to continue school after that. There are many children who are able to enroll in school, but within a year, that is, in the first grade of elementary school, they stop going to school because they can no longer afford the school fees. The children who are educated through the 6th grade are probably about 10% of the children in the area, maybe even less.
Which kind of sickness?
It's complicated to explain.
Okay.
You don't know what's happening.
Okay. Okay. Is there any hospital which can treat him?
Oh no, it's not possible. We have a very small clinic here.
Mr. Ogawa, do you know what kind of sickness he is suffering from? There doesn't seem to be any hospital around here that can treat him.
Perhaps it is not a congenital disease, but I do not know the specific name of the disease. I have never seen a child like him before in this area.
She said that first of all, MSF was here. They took a part of his, and they goes to make test. But she said that until now they did not find the result. The result of.
It started raining about 15 minutes ago. Even though the roads are bad, the rain has made them muddy and even worse. Locals are also walking in the rain. They use plastic bags as umbrellas. Drivers are driving very slowly, but the road is getting very muddy and the car may get stuck somewhere. You may not be able to tell from the video, but the road is bad and the car is driving at an angle. It is difficult to keep my position unless I hold on to the handrail tightly. Now our car is finally stuck. Can we get out of this somehow? He's pressing down on the gas pedal as hard as he can, but there's no sign of forward movement. The rain was getting quite heavy and thunder started to rumble, but our car is completely stuck and we can't move. The driver is trying very hard to accelerate, but there's no sign of getting out of it.
なんとかスタックを抜きました。めっちゃ盛り上がった。
The roads in this area are also terrible. It may be hard to tell from the video, but there is a lot of muddy water. Is he changing tires?
Yeah, flat tire.
Did you get a flat tire? Frequently we get flat tires.
Yes, because the roads are terrible. We definitely need a spare tire.
If we didn't have a spare tire, we'd be in big trouble. Drivers are currently changing tires in the rain. This is the second time that the tires have gone flat during this stay in Congo, and we are in the process of changing the tires for the third one. They seem to be using the best Toyota Land Cruisers, but even so, the roads are very bad in this area and the tires frequently go flat. I am sure that the costs involved in the maintenance of these vehicles are a big burden on the activity expenses. I feel that working in Congo is very difficult. It's a terrible road here too, very bumpy. There is a large amount of muddy water flowing down the road we are about to pass, and it looks like a small river. The driver and local staff were checking to see if we could cross safely. 勢いをつけるのか。行きます。渡れるか。怖い。うわーすごい。うわー。おお、なんとか当たりました。すごい揺れた。Asante sana.
Asante pia.
How is your life?
Iko ya mzuri.
She said she's very fine. She works and she can get soap. She can get basic needs at her place.
How did your life change after you get support from Terra Renaissance compared to the life before she got support from Terra Renaissance?
Maisha yako ilibadilika namna gani?
Ilibadilika sababu nilikuwa siwezi weza kujiuzia kitu.
Before she had no way to generate income. She didn't know how to make clothes. So when she got training, she started working with her machine. Now she can get money. By herself, she can support her family. So that's how her life has changed since.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. Next, asante sana. Jambo. 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 The car got stuck in the middle of the road again. The car had stopped in the middle of the hill and we were stuck. As you can see, there is a cliff over here, so the car might slide sideways and fall off the cliff. For safety reasons, I am stepping out of my car to shoot this video. As you can see from the video, the tires of the car are spinning because of the mud, and it is not moving forward at all. In the worst case scenario, the tires could slide sideways and the car could fall off the cliff and break down. If that happens, we will not be able to return home, so we want to avoid such a situation somehow. The soil in this area is very clayey, so when it rains it becomes very muddy. This makes it difficult for the tires to get entangled in the soil, and the tires seem to spin around. Bikes are also having a hard time going down the hill. I respect them for living in such a difficult place. The motorcycle driver is a stranger, but Terra Renaissance's local staff is helping him. The driver brings dry soil from somewhere and sprinkles it on the road to make it easier for the car's tires to turn.
いけるか。頑張れー。いけー。ちょっと滑ってるけど。あ、いけるか。近くで撮影するのも怖いな。こっちに滑ってきそうで。
It's been about 30 minutes since I got out of the car, and there's no sign of getting out of the mud. Children gathered around.
Jambo. Jambo sana.
My shoes were also covered in mud. Must be hard to wash them.
お、一気にいった。 行きましたね、ついに。
I'm glad to be out of the mud safely, but our car has gone so far that we need to walk to it. We finally got out of the mud and started moving. It took us over 30 minutes to get out. I'm getting pretty tired, so let me stop shooting for a moment until we move on to the next location. After an hour's rest, I was able to recover a bit. There is a man that Terra Renaissance, which I'm accompanying, is supporting, who is working on beekeeping. We are walking to see the place. Local kids are following us.
Jumbo?
Jambo.
Ça va?
Ça va bien.
Yay! Jumbo?
Jambo.
Ça va?
Ça va bien.
Most of the children living in this area live barefoot. They don't wear shoes or sandals. I made the mistake of coming here in sandals instead of shoes. I should have worn shoes. Since I came here in sandals, I was afraid of a worm called sandflea. All the children are not even wearing sandals, so I think the risk of being parasitized by sandflea is also high. I am impressed by the toughness of the children, but I am a little worried about them.
Jumbo? Ça va?
Ça va bien.
Hakuna Matata.
This baby has been contaminated with soil, but they all have beautiful eyes. It seems that fish live in this pond, and people living in the area sometimes catch and eat fish here. However, I was told that the water in this pond is not used for drinking or washing. It seems that it is difficult to use the water for daily life when it is so dirty. Mr. Ogawa from Terra Renaissance is monitoring the progress of the beekeeping project. I cannot get close there because I do not have enough protective clothing for me to wear. There seem to be quite a lot of bees in the area, but the locals are not wearing protective clothing.
Juicy? Japonais. Je m'appelle Kanta. Tu t'appelles?
Je m'appelle Kutaka.
Hein?
Je m'appelle Kutaka.
Kutaka? Kutaka?
Kutaka.
Kutaka. Kutaka. 現地の方のお家を少し見せてもらおうかなと思います。What are they burning inside?
They went for pork.
This is a kitchen?
Yes.
Kitchen.
This is the kitchen of a local house. You may not be able to see much because the room is too dark. Can you see it? Pork is grilled here. Do families here have a relatively comfortable lifestyle?
Yes, I think they are just a little more comfortable with their lives. They have been in the beekeeping business for about 2 years now. Ah, he came home.
Jumbo, Jumbo.
Jumbo.
Asante sana.
Asante sana. Asante sana.
Jumbo, Jumbo.
He is in the beekeeping business. He is making honey at the place we just saw and just got back from a job selling it.
Do these children live here? Live this area? Okay, very many children.
Many children gathered around us, all of them living in this neighborhood. There are so many of them.
Go back. Bye. Au revoir. Bye.
How did you feel after spending today?
Well, for the first time today, I was able to listen carefully to the stories of people living in Congo. It was a tough but very fulfilling day for me, as I was able to gain a real understanding of life and the current situation in Congo, which until now I had only been able to learn about through books and news. What struck me most about today was the number of children. There is no doubt that Eastern Congo is a war zone and there are difficult conditions, but I was still amazed by the children's energy at the elementary school. They gave me a lot of energy. We will be out in the field all day again tomorrow, so I will try to get a good rest today and be ready for work tomorrow. We are doing our best in Congo, so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching this video to the end. See you again in the next video.